Maine, and this is my review of Pose. I just watched it, and I just had people telling me, you got to see the show, you got to see the show, you got to see the show, and things that I liked about it, and things I thought were stupid, and things I just didn't like about it at all. So we're going to get into all of that. But first, if you haven't done so, please take a minute to subscribe to my channel. I have lots of great things coming up. We did something that I enjoyed a lot called Game Night. We played a live game of spades. It's on my channel, and now I decided to do a whole game night show. So, but I got the Ish Talkers. So the next game night is going to be incredible. I've got some crazy players, and I know you're going to love it. And I've got plenty of other things coming down the pike too. But you're here for Pose. But please subscribe, hit that bell button so you get notified every time I release a video. And I'm doing this live, so I don't have my notes like I normally do, because I wanted to get this out to you as soon as possible. So I'm just gonna go from memory. I don't know characters' names. If you saw the show, you probably know what I'm talking about. The opening scene in the museum was stupid. Let's just say that outright. It's TV movie BS. Let me tell you, if being a black person, I know that if you go into a place like a museum, especially if you look like you don't fit, they're watching you. Even in 1987, they're watching you. They've got security. You can't just, especially with uh, the mother of the House of Abundance. That's a stupid name. Can we agree with that? If you're going to say one house is Evangelista, then you could at least say this is going to be the house of Naomi or something. So, I mean, they're all supermodels. The same. Cindy Crawford, Linda Evangelista, Naomi Campbell. It's like 5 or 6 of them, you know, that were named supermodels at that time. So if you're going to go there, just go there. But the problem I had with that is they would have been watching them like a hawk. It was 10 minutes before closing, and security would have been like, well, I didn't see those people leave. Nobody walked past me. She flirted with him, so he can't forget her. And they, like I said, they did look out of place. So I was like, really? And then they didn't get locked up because the museum, they didn't stay in jail because the museum was afraid that they wouldn't get new exhibits because they were robbed so easily. No, 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 no. It would have been better if, because I'm a writer, I'm going to tell you how you can fix that. If you had just said one of them was working there, could have been a custodian, and stole the costumes for the night, and then, you know, they walked the ball, and then when the person was putting them back, then they could have got fired. You know, if you wanted to make it tragic like that. But, you know, the museum got their costumes back. It's a more realistic way to steal it. Or if you wanted them to break into the museum like that, then you should have had them come in individually and early in the day. You know, you've been sitting in that cupboard for 2 hours. You've been under that exhibit for 3 hours. You know, have them one by one just kind of sort in and then hide. And then show the clock. And that here's another one. And then you hide. And then, you know, you get out the museum, unlock a window or something, crawl out, then come back in, or just have them stolen or something like that. But I know they wanted the big scene to be dramatic, but it just was just really unrealistic, and it just worked my nerves. I fully expected this to be a TV series version of Paris is Burning, because the trailer looks exactly like Paris is Burning down to the colors and things like that. It did go in a couple of different directions. It's still, the people in Paris is Burning, they didn't really focus that much on some of the things that was going on. They mentioned it, that this happens and that happens, and at the end of the video, you find out this person died of AIDS or that person died of AIDS. But I I know a show like This Is Us is like a huge hit, but I don't like This Is Us because it's too trying to pull at the heartstrings. It's too sad and depressing, and I don't think I got past This Is Us episode 3 before I gave up. I said I'm not watching a TV show because I feel like crying, you know, and I think they missed a huge opportunity to really spotlight the ball scene. Like, I don't know who that guy is that they had as the dancer because I didn't think he could dance that well. I mean, there's so many other people that could dance 100 times better than him that would have been better than him for the role. He's good for the acting part, but I wasn't convinced that he's a great dancer. I just wasn't feeling it. He's not a good voguer. So it was like, or at least he is not yet in this stage of the game of the show. And I just felt like they missed a lot of opportunities with the ball scene. Like, people watching probably will not understand like how exciting it can be to watch the balls and the categories and all that kind of stuff, or to really kind of show what it's like to be in a house, not just the oh we're so family, but you know, those places are really dramatic. So when I was growing up, I knew people that um, were in houses, and when I was a teenager, I knew people that were in houses, and you know, I would get invited over, and I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I mean, one, I'm not gonna be in your house, but but I couldn't do it in the sense that I had friends that would walk back and forth for 3-4 hours nonstop. I mean, like, not stop walking. One side of the room, the other side of the room, the one side of the room, the other side of the room. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And the houses are very dramatic. I don't like drama. You know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on, a lot of stealing, and you know, and balls can be great, and balls can be messy. A lot of them can be messy. There's a lot of fighting. You know, like if you remember that YouTube video that went viral with the girl that threw the table at the people, and then they like threw chairs back at her, and like she like caught the chair in the air. You know, if you remember that video, that was at a ball. So that's the kind of drama I tried to avoid growing up. But for a TV show, that's exciting stuff. Hell, I'd recreate that damn scene. But I have to say, halfway through the show, I had decided this is my first and last episode. But I have 2 clients that watched it, and they were like, next time we see you, which is tomorrow, you know, you got to watch the show because we want to talk about it, and you want to watch it. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch it. So I got halfway through, and I was like, oh my God, this is so depressing. This is so depressing. You know, and I know that, you know, people like that kind of drama too. And I said, I can't do probably 10 weeks of, you know, oh, the world is so rough and blah, blah, blah. But going into the second half of the show, I did enjoy the parking lot voguing because it really looked like voguing, like the real shit. You know, and I was like, that's how you do it. You know, even though some of them were a little slow. But, and I know that's old school voguing or whatever. But I saw a lot of authentic dancing in that scene to the point where some of those people didn't even care if the camera was on. They were just in their voguing zone, which is also what happens. So, so I thought that was good. And the show did get me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna BS you. I did get a little choked up because when the guy that I said can't dance actually got into dancing school, after all of that drama and crying and just you know, you got HIV and you're a prostitute and you're homeless and you know, world's against us and you know, oh, you liked him, but guess what, he's married with kids. You know, it was just like, there wasn't enough layers of maybe energetic happiness, ball scene, something to keep the to sandwich in between that heavy drama. I was hoping we can get more of them learning or something like that. Um, at the end, it was realistic that the second house, when they the abundance and the house of Evangelista went against each other, that was the most boring battle I've ever seen in my life. But no, you wouldn't be getting tens and nines. What was wrong with those people? It was only three of them, and they weren't dressed properly. They should have been chopped. They should have been like threes and fours, not tens and nines. You know, the House of Abundance was more put together, and plus, and when people do these balls, a lot of them are rigged. Yeah, I said it. You know, you know, they're rigged. You know, so it's like this person is legendary, so they're gonna win. They're gonna win. They're more popular. It's a popularity contest a lot of times. Until some upstart comes in and really does something that blows you away, legendary is always gonna win. So when they battled each other, them scores, I was like, So when the guy said to them outside, really, I would have gave y'all much lower than that. I was like, thank you, you know. But when the boy danced and he got his um, got his chance to be in dance school, I almost cried. I almost cried because I'm a person. I'm human. I got feelings and emotions. So yes, I did almost cry. However, however, um, I didn't almost, but I fast forwarded through his performance. I fast forward. I couldn't watch it. It was like a bad version of Flashdance. The boy can't dance. It was like a really bad version of Flashdance. So I said, fast forward. Are you in or not? Because I thought they were going to say, you're in, but you'll come in the spring. I didn't know they would say, you're in now. Like, you're in, come in the spring. And then, you know, some of those things were realistic. You know, I expected the father to pull out the belt. And I was a little bit surprised at the mother because sometimes the mother would just go with the father said, but will not necessarily be on his side. It'd be like, I'm sorry, but you got to go, you know, but bye. But not, you know, I hate you too. You know, so, but I know people who went through that. You know, I know people that were thrown out their house because they were gay, they were homeless, they was on the street, they were prostituting, they were going house to house to house. You know, I remember I had a buddy who um, was living in an uh, abandoned building in my neighborhood, and my mother owned a grocery store, and I used to give him food and stuff like that. And when I get away with it, I'm like, okay, go ahead and sleep in the basement, you know, and you know, just gotta be out before my mother wakes up. So I know people who went through that. So I'm not saying that the drama was fake or it was wrong or that this isn't how things happen even today in 2018, you know, but I'm saying that I just wish that it wasn't so much drama layered on top of each other without giving the audience a break. It was like, can you please take your boot off my neck? I get it. Things were really, really messed up then, and some of those same things are happening now. But yeah. So I think I will watch it next week. Um, I'm curious to see what happens next. I wasn't going to continue watching the show, but now I think I will. And it's going to be a case by case basis. If it's more, you know, an hour of depression with one light of hope, then I'm going to give up on it. But, you know, I like the actors. Um, I think the house would get bigger and better, and maybe the battles would get better. So, you know, I'm hoping that This is just the first episode, so I got my fingers crossed that things will get better and be more evenly paced. But yeah, and also on a last note, as far as the trans community goes, this is a big win for the trans community. There's five trans actresses on the show, which is the most trans actors that have ever been on a scripted series. Because if you look at, like, there was a trans show. I watched Big Freedia, so there was a trans show that came on after Big Freedia, and it's on Fuse, and Fuse like will like trick you. So you'll DVR Big Freedia, but it'll also go ahead and you'll get like the season first episode of the trans show. So you like, I'm getting 2 hours of Big Freedia. Oh no, it's they combine the shows. So, but that show was about trans people, so it was like 6 to 8 of them, and that included trans men. So, so it's not the show with the most trans ever, but it's the scripted series with the most trans actors in one in a scripted series. So that's a win for trans people. This will open more doors for them, and also allow people to see how hard it is for a trans person to get a job, while a lot of them turn to prostitution. Because in the trans community, because of how, because if you don't transition well and people can tell that you're trans, then it's really hard to get a job. Like in McDonald's, used to be a trans person who worked at McDonald's, and I would go in or whatever, and behind me there would always be somebody like, that's a man, right? Or telling somebody else, yeah, that's a man. And I could only imagine that trans worker who eventually quit, hearing that all day long, or it's just hard. There's more acceptance because more people understand what trans is, but I think this show will help people see how hard it is to be different, and people like to put people in boxes, and if people don't know what box to put you in, then they kind of like don't know what to do with you, so they don't hire you for like customer service job, because they know people come in, they're gonna be like, what's going on? So you can be, and ironically, Vistaprint, like you can see the Hard Truth banner here. I ordered one for my show Versus, which is my music series, and ordered some business cards for one of my producers for Versus, and the person on the phone, great customer service. They gave me for free. Great customer service. If it's free, it's great customer service. But my Versus banner is gonna be free, and I'm getting the business cards for free too, because they messed them up, and my Versus banner is delayed. UPS hasn't brought it back yet, and they should have brought it on June 1st, and it's not June 1st no more. So I called to complain, and they gave me everything for free. So, but I say to say that the person on the phone sounded trans. I didn't want to ask, are you trans? Because you really sound like a trans person. But but I'm like, that's a great trans job. Like being on the phone. People don't. You don't have to worry about people saying, that's a man or something like that, or that's a woman. So anyway, I'm rambling. So I just want to say this show's good for the trans community. This show's good for the gay community. This show's good for the bald community. This is good for people who like shows like This Is Us. I don't like This Is Us, but it's too much drama. It try to make you cry too much. If this show's the same, I can't do it. But yeah, I will give Pose another try, and I'll come on here and I'll let you know what I think of Pose episode 2 when it's released, because I'm not paying to see the episodes early. There's 4 episodes of Pose already online, but you gotta pay like $5.99 to see them. It's like FX Plus, and yeah, I can wait. I can wait. It's not this serious. But if you can't wait and you want to see episode 2, 3, and 4, you can go ahead on FX Plus and see the next 3 weeks of worth of episodes. But I can wait. I've got Netflix, and I've got my DVR full, and I've been watching a lot of 227. Yeah. 227 Marlo Gibbs, Jack A. Herring. Yeah, I'm catching up on 227. I might even make a video about it because seeing 227 now as an adult, I got people on Facebook mad as hell at me right now because some of the things I disagree with about 227. If you follow me on Facebook, you know people are mad at my post about 227 because I'm making observations. Um, but thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. If you have subscribed, thank you. I appreciate all my subscribers, and I'm going to keep trying to bring you content as soon and as fast as I can. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And I got some more coming because I want to talk about Miss America. Yes, that dilapidated program. I think I'm going to talk about it right now. So thank you for watching. And my next video is coming at you in just a few seconds.